one from campus. Young people are go hard from campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one now, yeah. Walk one from campus. How we are carry hard from campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, so make us again listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. And you know when love pass through, it's all about the gospel. So tell me what one from campus. Youths are going on from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one down, yeah. Hey, I walk one from campus. And we are carry lot from campus. Come on, tell me what one. I walk one now, yeah. Hey, walk one, everybody.
Wagwan, indeed. It is another Tuesday afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Campus Connection. I'm Anesta and I'm riding solo today. My co host, my ride or die, decided not to ride today. So I can throw a little shade on him in his absence, Mr. Jonathan Fletcher, but nonetheless, I am here. I'm here with you to take you on this journey for the next hour as we discuss Child Month, the vision of Child Month. I'm Anessa, and it is certainly a privilege to be your host for this show. So let's get into just what are some of the things you can expect for the show. And of course, you should know the drill by now. Let me say it this way. You should know the drill by now. If you haven't already logged on to our live stream, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook. If you haven't already gone on and just sent in a comment to say hello, hi, you guys know I need those comments, especially when Jonathan decides not to be here to keep this conversation going. So I'm looking forward to your interaction. You can go to our live stream chat on YouTube, on Facebook. And if you're listening on Love 101 FM radio, please hop over to the social media channels and ensure that you just drop a like, drop a share, drop a subscribe, whatever you need to do to interact with us for this show. It's going to be fun. Excuse me, and it's also going to be very insightful. We will be having a brief discussion with our KSAMC junior counselors, Mr. Shane Harrisonell and also Miss Dimonique Brown. Now, these two young people, they are creating waves in Jamaica with the Sparkja Initiative. So we'll be talking with them at 5:40, and then at 5:50 we have I Chose Christ, You Should Too. And for our Child Month feature, we will be discussing the vision of Child Month. So we'll have Dr. Pauline Mullings, the chairperson for the National Child Month Committee. We'll also have Mrs. Jacqueline Smith, an educator, a wife, a mother, and we'll have Pastor Cavan Allen, a pastor at the Fellowship Tabernacle Church, right? So we have pretty much a full lineup for you guys today. And I'm certainly looking forward to just all of the insight, all of the knowledge that will be poured out on the show. So I want to invite you to tell a friend that Campus Connection is on. Yes, we're on. And without further ado, we will be going to our news, our education news and bulletin for today, May 2, 2023. And one of the first things on our agenda for the news is the Minister of Education and Youth, Honorable Favour Williams, is encouraging teachers to not fear the advancement of artificial intelligence, but to leverage the technology to supplement the teaching learning process. She says, despite the notion that AI software is poised to automate a number of jobs globally, it is unlikely that the technology will replace teachers in the classroom. Another update from the National Labor Day Project will see the planting of 10,000 trees along Highway 2000. The project was launched today, May 2, under the theme Plant a Tree for Life, promoting climate change mitigation, food security, and road safety. It is aimed at reducing the impact of climate change and is part of a larger program to beautify major traffic corridors across Jamaica. The project was announced by Prime Minister Most Honorable Andrew Holness at the launch of the Workers' Week and Labor Day at Jamaica House. Beloved Port Antonio Primary School senior teacher Paulette Robinson has died. Robinson, who was a grade 4 supervisor, passed away on Thursday night at the Port Antonio Hospital in Portland, where she was admitted after falling ill late last week. And the now for our education bulletin, the ISCF will be hosting a discipleship camp themed quest, questions you encounter seeking truth. And this will be on August 12 to 17. The admission fee is 14,000 right now, but after the month of May, it will move to 15,000. So go ahead and get your tickets. The location will be at the Moorlands campsite in Manchester. And if you need to register, you can go to iscfja.com. When you register, you will receive a copy of the illustrated book Without Excuse by Christian apologist Bruce Malone when you get to camp. And the University of Technology Jamaica and their prior learning assessment unit is hosting an information session on graduation matriculation via PLA. The date will be on Wednesday, May 3, 2023. At the time will be 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. You can also join via Zoom, and you can see the University of Technology, their social media pages for further information. The Michael University College is offering scholarships, 250 scholarships to be exact, for undergraduate degrees in STEM subjects at the Michael. Calling all 5th and 6th formers, parents, educators, and you are invited to apply for one of the 250 fully funded scholarships to pursue a Bachelor of Education degree in a STEM discipline. So that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. A Bachelor of Education in a STEM discipline prepares you for the education sector, but also equips you to work in multiple sectors or industries locally and globally. You can reach out to the Michael University College for further information. And of course, the deadline to apply is Tuesday, May 9, between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that's all the news and bulletins that we have for you today. We're going to go for a quick break. And when we come back, we will have more on Campus Connection. Stay with us.
Perspectives through the generations. Life in a man's world. Join us Wednesday, May 3 for the Mailbox as guest Keneal Allen talks basketball, marriage, music, videography, and so much more. Right here on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Yay! Get ready for a worship-filled time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Wednesday, May 3. At 6 a.m., we shed light on some new artists making waves in the gospel music industry. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with Morning Coffee Pick Me Up Devotional. Then, at 7 a.m., we bring you the Morning Watch with intriguing and thought provoking discussions. It's Theme Music Wednesday. We play music that highlights the sovereignty of our God. Feel free to send in your song requests. 8:30 a.m. Inside the Healthy Way, we discuss the necessity of resting. 9:30 a.m. is Something More, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. Stick and stay with us. This is Inspiration Wednesday inside Love in the Morning. 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family,
This
and
alright,
love.
just wake up. Okay, where are the campus lights? Students are stuck up in a crisis.
All right. Welcome back. It is Campus Connection time. Where are the campus sites? Indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just now joining us, please, please, please hit like if you're on our YouTube or Facebook pages. And if you're just listening on Love 101 FM, go ahead and hop over to the live stream, leave a comment, say hello, say hi. Let us know that you are on. We have for you guys two guests who will be coming on to share with us on the Sparkja Initiative. Now, these are two young people still in high school, but already they're undertaking projects that are affecting and shaping our nation. The first is Mr. Shane Harrison L. He is the KSAMC Junior Counselor of the Whitehall Division, and he's also a grade 12 sub prefect at Kingston College. And our second guest is Miss Dimonique Brown, a KSAMC Junior Counselor for the Waterhouse Division and head girl of Woolmer's Trust High School for Girls. So they will be sharing with us on the Spark JA initiative. Welcome, Dominique. Welcome, Shane, to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good
Thank you
afternoon.
for
Thank you
having
for having
us.
us.
So, talk to us about Spark JA. What is it all about, and whose idea was it? I'm going to start with Shane and then Dominique.
Okay, so what Spark J is, it is a mass passageway for students of Jamaica to excel in their upcoming exams. As we know, the CAPE and CSEC exams, they are coming up right around the corner. Spark J is an idea forged by the KSAMC Junior Council, myself, and Dimonique. It has a resource hub for students. And it's not only, it's in the Kingston and St. Andrew municipality.
Okay. So, Dominique, you are a junior counselor for the Waterhouse Division. How do you see the Spark JA initiative impacting that division that you work in?
Okay, so for me, it's kind of a full circle moment because in the Waterhouse division, that's where my godmom and my grandma lives.
Okay.
So, I have, personal connection there, and, I always see students travel there. The
Mm-hmm.
high school is near there, and primary schools are near there. And what Shane said, the website is a resource hub for CSEC and CAPE exams, but
Mm-hmm.
we're also trying to, institute PEP and SAT exams as well. So it only just benefits, high school students. It also benefit primary school students.
Okay, so tell us, is it a case where the resources are simply placed online and you guys just say whoever wants to come get it, you come get it, or do you have something in place that actually directs our young people to the material that you've made available for them?
Okay, so
Dominique.
right now the website is in the finalizing stages. So when it's completely ready, the domain link will be shared to everyone, and also it will be linked to the KCMC's website. So the parent website of KCMC will be linked to that. So it'd
Mhm.
be easy for you to either to get onto the website through the KCMC's website or through the domain link that will be shared. And it's kind of cool. So it's not just papers are there and you're confused. It's organized. You have CAPE, you have CSEC, you have PEP and SAT headings, and you
Mhm.
click on them, you find your subject, and you download the resources.
Awesome. So, Shane, I know you're also a sub prefect at KC, Kingston College, and I know what it's like being a part of the prefecture, but also having to do your own studies and make time to make sure you're excelling. So, how do you guys manage that balance?
Well, I don't want to say going into the sixth form year, moving from fifth form to sixth form. I've always wanted to manage on time management, really and truly. I made it a key in my development. Going towards, all right, I was the one that helped create the website itself, like the design and everything. So over the
Okay.
months, it's just a slow train just going through, but it's been pretty much stable. It's been fun. It's been manageable. I can
Okay.
say it's been manageable. Yes, the workload is a lot, but once you have that initiative and you're achievement orientated, you pretty much can overcome anything.
Awesome. And I know that as a part of the KSMC, the Junior Council, you guys are tasked with different responsibilities that affect our youth. So there's the Spark JA initiative. Is there anything else that you are looking forward to in terms of your responsibilities there at the KSM AMC?
Okay, so
Okay, so
current,
oh,
you can
okay,
go there,
Shane, you
money.
go
You can go.
ahead. Also, the another initiative that is in the works is actually spearheaded by one of the other junior counselors, Zachary, and he's in charge of the anti-violence initiative in school. So he himself is a cadet, and he's really passionate about anti-violence in schools and helping high school students matriculating to get that sort of discipline and that
Mhm.
sort of drive to focus on school and
Mhm.
not outside noise.
Okay, awesome. Before we continue, we're gonna jump to a quick break right here on Campus Connection. Stay with us. We'll be talking some more with Shane and Dimonique when we come back.
Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Love 101, you're invited to listen to Good Morning Minister, a weekly feature where government ministers will speak about the development in their various ministries. Listen for the updates and have your questions and concerns ready to share inside Good Morning Minister as the Minister of Information, Robert Nesta Morgan, and a guest minister or agency head discuss the issues and take your questions and suggestions. Get ready to call in during Good Morning Minister, 11 a.m. on Wednesdays, right here on Love 101, the family station.
Jamaica's central bank digital currency is now here. Jamdex, no cash, no problem. Step into a future of ease, convenience, and security. Conduct business with your mobile device instantly and without fees. This is how life should be with Jamdex. You catch it free. Jamdex are the real free. Use it to buy a store bar TV. You can buy your shoes or 3 piece. Get the central bank digital currency. No cash, no problem. Jamdex, backed by the Bank of Jamaica.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. Bashco. Be everything where you need. Bash quality service guaranteed and a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco that gives you more. Yeah, Bashco. Get furniture for your house, bed linen, everything for your kitchen, rocks, hubs, and more at Bashco. The store that gives you more. Bashco.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are step up in the price.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. I'm Anesta and I am your host for the show today. We have with us, and before the break, we had with us our two junior counselors at the KSA MC, Miss Dimonique Brown and Mr. Shane Harrison L. Now, both of you are in sixth form, right? And I know that you've already experienced the whole CSEC phase, and so you're familiar with just the pressures that come along with that, the anxiety, everything that comes along with that. How important was it for you to make these exam pass papers available to students to seek to alleviate some of that pressure? I'm going to start with Dominique and then Shane, you can respond.
Okay, so the idea started with the ladies at my school. So before I even became head girl, I was, a leader in the previous years. So
Okay.
I knew, firsthand, as well as seeing my peers and my friends. They were presidents, forum captains, everybody was just into everything and it was crazy. So, as leaders, we are so enamored with what we have to do, the outside activities, but it's hard as well to balance all of that with school, and a lot of times we don't like to ask for help. And
Mhm.
it's not just us, is that imagine the other students who might be struggling outside of having all of these leadership activities. So just looking around in my school environment and seeing the need for for students to get help, for them to be able to have resources. I remember CSET preparation was really, stressful and
Mhm.
traumatizing in all of those subjects. And it really helped to have the ladies in my year group share past papers and for us to go over, literature questions, English questions before the exam, or the night before, just to have someone to lean on. So really, this website idea is that source or that resource for all students of Jamaica to lean on, to go have something to go to say yes, I can find my past papers, and in the following phases that are coming, they can have access to so many other resources that will benefit them in the long run.
Mhm. And Shane, what about you?
Preparing for CXC exams, it was very interesting one. Moving from the last time I had exams was GSAT, and
Mhm.
going from that now to do CXC, it's on a different level. It's
Mhm.
definitely what it was. I wouldn't say it's traumatizing like Diamond said, but the pressure was definitely there.
Mhm.
Finding past papers, it was somewhat easy, but for some people it wasn't, because I'm tech savvy. I know how to scour through the internet. I can find my resources, but some people I had to help them out. We actually had
Mhm.
to help them out, and then looking at our upcoming leaders, the PEP students, of course, we did GSAT. I'm not even sure if they had past papers back there, but I've
Mhm.
seen one or two past papers for PEP around there. So, like how I have a little sister who actually just finished doing PEP, it'll be very good for even the incoming year to have these past papers.
Awesome, awesome. And I really do commend you all just for being so selfless. You know what the struggle is. The struggle is real, and you want to make sure that people don't have to go through what you went through. And you could easily, like you said, Shane, you could just surf the internet, find what you need, but there's some people that they're not that tech savvy. So I definitely want to commend you guys. What word of encouragement would you like to give students as we're in the exam period? The nerves are running, the anxiety is high. How would you encourage them, Shane and then Dominique?
Okay, so I'll do paper two first and then paper one. For paper two, once you know the information, you're pretty much set, really and truly. There's some subjects that if you the questions kind of repeat. So like let's say in the question beforehand, the answer would actually be there for the follow up question. So you really have to be able to look around, and you have to
Mhm.
be able to search up, read properly, read with understanding. My mom always tells me this: read with understanding, and you'll pretty much be good. From multiple choice, once you know the information and you have scored through past papers, a lot of them repeat. You'll be pretty much fine. You'll be good. Everybody who is listening now, you got this. The exams are, I'm not going to tell you that the exams are easy, but once you decide to study, and even if you do it last second, I don't recommend you do it last second, but once you decide to study in any way, shape, or form, you have the ability to succeed. You have the ability.
Absolutely. And Dominique, what about you?
Okay, so before I delve into, giving advice for the individual papers, I just want to start by saying that you guys know what you have been learning in class. So just, breathe, focus, and go out and be amazing. We're Jamaicans, and the most amazing thing, sorry, about the Jamaican is that we're resilient. So we can all definitely do this. You just take it one step at a time. And
Mhm.
the exam, they're definitely, I won't say that they're easy because the stress levels are different for everybody, but just take it one step at a time. After you get through the first hurdle, it'll become easy and you'll be, a little more stress free. For the paper two exams, for my science and my business students, just take your time and, practice your formulas, practice, the question that that you're not, so great on, and go in there and take your time and you lay out your formulas and you'll be amazing. For the humanities students, read, 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 read. please read the questions and take the time to, understand what the questions are saying before you go in and answer. Write down your points and just take that time to, answer the question in a holistic format. And for paper ones, as Shane said, as long as you, practice those papers, it's normally repeated, so you'll be fine. So just take your time again to just read the question and choose the best possible option.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Both of you. I'm so encouraged by you. And I just want to congratulate you on what you've accomplished so far. Keep going. Keep being an inspiration to our young people. And I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
All right. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Wow. So we have two very promising young people inside of our nation, just making waves already. They are doing some innovation, making past papers available, building their own websites, ensuring that education can be normalized. Keep up the good work, guys. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for I Chose Christ, You Should Too. And on this week's episode, we have Frederica Ingram. Listen in and be blessed.
Hi everyone, my name is Frederica, and first and foremost I just want to say I'm extremely excited to be able to share my story with you. So basically what happened for me, I mean this isn't the only situation that I've gone through, but I experienced a loss in 2020 and it basically uprooted my way of life and the plans that I had in place. The majority of it was surrounded by this person, and when they were basically removed from my life, everything just fell before me. And one of the major things would have been my living situation. I was all over the place. Felt like I really didn't have anywhere to go, anywhere to stay, and wherever I was, for some reason or another, I ended up having to leave within a month, within 3 months to 6 months, thereabout. But the good thing about it is that, for every season that I had to move, there was always somewhere for me to go. Someone would have always offered, someone would have always, just shown up in the midst of it all and just say, hey, here what, you come and stay with me. And I believe that was the Lord working through these persons just to accommodate me. I had the opportunity to experience different job opportunities, internships, and all of which would have aided in my financial situation would have resulted from that. And so, from this situation, I was able to learn that, God is with me. I just need to take baby steps and trust in the Lord. And that is why I chose Christ, and you should too.
All right. Thank you so much, Frederica Ingram. She is a fourth year student at the University of Technology, Jamaica, and she's doing a BSc in Occupational Health and Safety and Environmental Management. She's reminding us that she chose Christ and you should too. Despite the death, despite the grief, the loss that she's encountered, she's still holding on. And, we can all do the same. So encouraging, so very encouraging. And now we do have our feature segment for today. We're in Child Month, of course. It's May, it's Child Month. And in this episode of the show, we want to talk about what is the vision of Child Month. And we have some esteemed panelists here with us to discuss that matter. We have Dr. Pauline Mullings, the chairperson of the National Child Month Committee. We have Mrs. Jacqueline Smith. She's an educator, a wife, and a mother of 3 adult children. I'm going to ask the producer why he put the word adult inside of her description, but certainly that does say a lot. And we also have Pastor Kavan Allen. He's a pastor at the Fellowship Tabernacle Church. Welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Such an honor to be
Thank
here with you. Thank you so much.
Why are you behaving like on a shy? I don't understand. But yes, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to talk with you about Child Month, and we're still awaiting Dr. Mullings. But in the meanwhile, how are you all doing? How is Child Month treating you so far?
Well, I have 4 children, so I feel like Child's Month is every day.
Every day is Child.
4 young children. I don't have adult children.
You don't have, okay. Like I said, I'm definitely going to find out why the producer put that in there. But Mrs. Smith, how are you doing?
I am doing great. And yes, I have adult children. But they weren't born adults. So, we went through the process with them. But now they're at a stage where my youngest is 20. And so
Your youngest is 20. Wow.
Yes. And so I can, go through and look back on what it has been.
And I'm sure you have a lot of experience, a wealth of wisdom that you will be sharing with us today, certainly. And just before we really get into our discussion, we're going to jump to a quick break. We're jumping to a quick break. But when we come back, the vision of Child Month, and we'll be talking about that with our guests. So stay with us here on Campus Connection.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dallin Toussaint. Every Wednesday, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Chris and Charles. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles. Every first and third Wednesday, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Home and Things. Home and Things, your construction finishes superstore. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101. Love 101 invites you to listen to Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, Thursdays at 10 p.m. Every first Thursday, listen for words of upliftment from the Lighthouse Assembly with Bishop Rowan Edwards. Every second Thursday at 10 p.m., listen for a word of encouragement from Wojis Ministries International. That's Women of God in Service with Reverend Dr. Elaine Richards. Every third Thursday, receive words of strength and power from Praise Deliverance Ministry with Senior Pastor Fitzroy Carr. Every fourth Thursday, Reverend Leonie Samuels of the Richmond New Testament Church of God in St. Mary shares words of hope. For fifth Thursdays, it's words of inspiration from the New United Bible Way Church of God with Reverend Dr. Jasmine Brown. That's Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches every Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Okay, where are the campus heights?
Welcome back to Campus Connection. It is Child Month, and we are discussing the vision of Child Month. I have with me Pastor Cavan Allen of Fellowship Tabernacle Church and Mrs. Jacqueline Smith, a mother of adult children. How many adult children? You know, this will stay with you for the rest of your
life. They are my children and they'll be my children for life.
Wow, wow, wow. But we're talking about Child Month, and apologies for Dr. Mullings not being able to join us. We were really looking forward to her contribution. But nonetheless, I want to find out from you both. What would you say are some of the things that as parents can do to ensure that their children grow up in a wholesome, meaningful way? Because like you said, Pastor Allen, it's not, Child Month is not 1 month out of the year, it's every day, so what can parents do to ensure our children get wholesome development?
Okay, I'll jump in first. I mean, one is interestingly to love each other. I think, when you grow up in a home where your parents love each other, that's very important. It shapes
Mhm.
your view of life, it shapes how you believe you should be treated and what is the acceptable way of, others treating you.
Mhm.
I also think listening to your children is very important. For me, it's so tricky because no two, three, four children are alike,
Mhm.
and so each express themselves so differently.
Mhm.
And because I have young children, 10, 6, 4, and couple months, sometimes as you try to give one
Wow.
attention, right? You guys need to pray harder for me.
Good job. Be
um,
fruitful and multiply, right?
we took the Bible literal. But, but what I find is trying to take care of your children while listening to your children can be so tricky, especially when you have a baby.
Mhm.
But you have to do your best to reach them, to communicate in their love language. When you get married, everybody talk about love languages and know
Mhm.
your spouse love language and all of that. Well,
Mhm.
children have love languages too, and you'll find that how you communicate with one, how you reach to one is not the same the other receives love.
Mhm.
And so spending the time to get to know those differences as well is very, very important. Finally, our relationship with God is so important because most of the things you have to be led by the Spirit, how to deal with your children, how to pray for your children, how to protect your children, how to share information with your children.
Mhm.
And I don't know how people parent without God. I want to say that's virtually impossible. you know. So those are a few I will throw in.
Wow. It's interesting where you started. I really was not expecting your first response to be children need to see their parents loving each other, but that certainly is a good foundation. It certainly is a good foundation. So, Mrs. Smith, what about you? What do you think are some of the things that parents can do to ensure that their children grow up rounded, whole, and ready for the world?
Okay, so I mean, I agree with Pastor Allen in some of the things that he has said, but I
Mhm.
always look at it as, there are just two basic needs that children have. And then under those two basic needs come many other little bullet points. Children need structure and they need to be nurtured.
Mhm.
And if we think about nurturing our children, what does that do for them? Give them that, provide that safe place that Pastor Allen spoke about. Allow them to feel safe, allow them to feel love. So they can't feel what they don't see, they can't feel what is not expressed to
Mhm.
them. So,
Mhm.
you do that for them. You allow them to develop, good self-esteem, build confidence in them. Um, as a mother, one of my other roles is that I'm an educator and I work with children. So I'm never out of the foray, right? I
Mhm.
work with children 3 to 6 years on a daily basis. And so
That takes a
When I
special grace.
there's a story I could tell you, Ernest, but I don't know if you have the time for it. But
Probably.
I never saw myself as an educator. I just thought I did not have the patience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really started teaching at the high school level where you didn't really need that much patience. You just need to be kind of tough and
Okay.
hard. That was my
Okay.
thinking. Okay, how wrong I was. But
Mm-hmm.
what the Lord showed me was that I did not need patience to teach. I need love. If I
Wow.
have love, patience will come, because patience is a byproduct of love. And so,
That's
with,
powerful.
with that love that I have for them, I
Mm-hmm.
am able to treat with them daily. I must be like, today I was at a school. I go to different schools, and I was at a school, and this little boy was there, and he was just limping, and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Me too." Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly I had to jump in the role along with the teacher and say, no, check out his toe. His toe was cut, and he was in his socks and shoes. So we had to. So you have to be alert
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to children. And, for the rest of the day, he was my friend, because
Wow.
he experienced that from me, that love.
That love.
And so because you give that to them in terms of nurturing,
Mm-hmm.
then when you give them the structure, it goes back to what Pastor Allen says with the word of God. I mean, for every parent has to have a belief system. Okay.
Right.
If you don't know what you believe, why you believe, then you can't give that to your children.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, as we speak on this platform, it's knowing the word of God, it's knowing who we are in Christ. I
Mm-hmm.
say to people, well, my children were not given to me so that I could boast that I can have children.
Mm-hmm.
They were given to me so that I can nurture them, train them, give them that foundation so that they can fulfill their God-given purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say to my children, if they are listening, and they will know that is true. So I'm not growing you so that you can say, what a fantastic mother I have. That will come because I'm growing you so that God will say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. So I take
Wow.
my role of parents very seriously.
If I don't stop you, you're going to just keep dropping gems, right? You're just gonna keep dropping gems. But I do have to just insert right here that we do have Dr. Mullings on, and I would really love to hear from her. She's the chairperson for the National Child Month Committee. And I just before you came on, Dr. Mullings, I asked our panelists, what does a child need to grow up whole, to grow up feeling loved and prepared for the world ahead. I would love if you could chime in on that, but also, even more importantly, if you could let us know what are some of the activities that's planned for Child Month.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Good
I
evening.
came in and I heard the latter part of the first speaker, and I heard in its entirety
Mm-hmm.
from our second speaker. I listened to her,
Mm-hmm.
being a retired educator, my well, we never retire, but we are no longer in the system.
Uh-huh.
But as an educator, I listened to her
Mm-hmm.
and I thought to myself, we had so much. I say had because I'm not in the classroom again, but I could still say have so much in common.
Mm-hmm.
When she speaks about, I think she said God told, no, she recognized that if she loves them, she loves patience. I remember God told me that all I had to do was to love them. I
Wow.
started working in an inner city school for which I did bargain for. It's the
Mm-hmm.
last place in the world I wanted to work.
Mm-hmm.
When I finished my teaching practice from my past, UTech, I was in the technical field. I was ready to go to one of those prominent high schools. And I sent out all my applications and I didn't get it. But at this school, I did my teaching practice, and the principal at the time stood outside, heard me talk, called me in the office and said, "You are an excellent teacher, I want you on this staff." And I'm like, "Really? Oh no."
Yeah.
I didn't apply because I didn't want to go there to work. The children were hard to
Mm-hmm.
handle, and it was very challenging. And even though at the end of my teaching practice I came out with an A, both from the Ministry of Education and from CAS, where my lecturers graded me, I
Mm-hmm.
still said that this was someone that I want to be. And I remember when no one would answer me from the traditional high school, and it was just about coming to September, I'm like, you better send an application there or you're going to be without a job. And when I sent the application, I was called. And I took the job and I spent 3 months. I must find somewhere. So I ain't staying here. But I thank God that I ended up doing 33 years. And 33 years with pride and joy. I worked at the Kingston High School. That's the only school I've ever worked full time. I had part time because I did that and something after. I did some part time. But that's the school I went on my life. And I loved it there.
So,
And what happened was that I learned to love. The Lord told me, if I love them, I can do it. And what I did, every year, every group that I had, I gave them love. And I won their love. And when I won their love, they obeyed me. They did what I asked. They followed my rules. I had no issues.
Wow.
So talk about that. I really could identify with that. And I really felt good about that. But
So-
I'm also thinking, though, go ahead.
So Dr. Mullings, I hear your passion coming out as you're sharing. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is why they made her chairperson of the National Child Wealth Committee. But I simply cannot allow us to wrap up before we know what are some of the activities that we have planned for this month. You know, because it's important that people know the vision of Child Month and how they can get involved. So give us some of the major things that are happening this month.
All right, so we have had our lunch. We are having our church service on Sunday. This is going to be at the West Des Moines Methodist Church in Williamsfield, Manchester. That's our Thanksgiving services. Then we are having our big day, International Children's Day, which will be observed on Friday, May 19th. And this is the time when we celebrate our children and treat them the way they treat us on Mother's Day, Father's Day, Teacher's Day, and on the other days. So it is also the day when adults wear something yellow to indicate to the entire Jamaica, I love my children and I love the children of Jamaica. The National Child Month Committee will be at St. John William Park downtown, where we will be giving out stickers and hugs and gifts to the children in parks through that area on their way to school. We will also be funding a project. We are still waiting to choose the school because we are doing it based on needs. We will be funding a needed school with something that they really need to have that they can't afford. So as I said, we are in the process now to eliminate and then to make a decision, and we will go anywhere to Hanover, Westmoreland, Portland, anywhere. We will go and ensure that that project is done. Then we're going to have our National Day of Prayer. This is the day that we pray for our children. This is the day we bring the children together under one umbrella to testify, to do their prayer requests. And this can be very tear-jerking because sometimes when you hear the things that the children are asking prayers for, it makes us wonder. But it also tells us that our children are aware of the power of prayer, and that if that when they make their request, God will answer. And so we're excited about our day of prayer. It's going to be in St. Elizabeth at the Church of the Apostolic Faith, Waterloo, Santa Cruz. And then on May 13th, we'll be having our care package distribution. We're trying to reach at least 300 families where the children do have needs. So that will complete May, but it doesn't complete our agenda.
Right.
What I want people to understand is that May is Child's Month. You know, we didn't say Child's Month. It is not for the child, it is about the child. So May is Child Month, but we go before and beyond May so that individuals can understand that we're not only asking you to think about our children in the month of May, but before and beyond. So on Friday, October 20th, we have our Academic Achievement Award for our young people, where we are honoring children from non-traditional high schools who have excelled with 5 or more takes at one sitting. 2, they must have had challenging circumstances that those who have to sit down under the street light, or those who don't have any, or their father or their mother died right in the middle and they have to pull through. Challenging circumstances, and they also have to be involved in some form of community work, giving back to society,
Right.
doing that voluntary service. And then Friday, November 3, that's Youth Month. We have our annual youth forum where children will come together. They look at the topic, they talk about it, they look at how adults treat them, in relation to the topic. And we have a really good time with our young people. We have debates, we have drama presentation, you name it. They display their talents and they want to discuss that. Our last event for this year will be our 70th anniversary banquet. Child Month is 70 years old this year, and so we're having an anniversary banquet, and we are reaching out to everyone to support this banquet and to help the National Child Month Committee as we depend heavily on sponsorship, which we honor, and we are grateful for all our sponsors, Grace Kennedy and National Continental Foundation being our lead sponsors. So we also have others coming on, Caribbean Broilers,
Right.
and today we have had indication from Jamaica National Restaurant of Jamaica, AMMD.
Wow. Certainly a lot of activities planned, and want to just thank even those who have decided to partner with the National Child Month Committee. We do have to run off to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear more from our guests as we discuss National Child Month and the vision for National Child Month. So stay with us right here on Campus Connection. More when we return.
Simplified customer due diligence is part of each financial institution's Know Your Customer process. As part of Simplified CDD, the information required includes a valid ID, tax registration number, and source of funds.
This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Okay, where are the campus eyes? Students are strap up in a price.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. We are discussing Child Month, the vision for Child Month. And just before the break, you heard from Dr. Mullings, from the chairperson for the National Child Month Committee. You also would have heard from Pastor Cavan Allen of Fellowship Tabernacle and Mrs. Jacqueline Smith, a mother of 3 adult children and an educator. Now, we're pretty much wrapping up, but I certainly enjoyed our time of discussion. I certainly enjoyed the insight that I received from you all. I know and I understand now that even just parenting and educating, it's so much more about loving on the children than it is about just giving them knowledge and passing on life skills and these different things. And I certainly appreciate you all for that perspective. And just before we wrap up here, is there any final words, any quick thoughts that you would like to share with our audience? I'm giving everybody like 15 seconds because I don't want my producer to have my head. So 15 seconds, everyone. Mrs. Smith, you can go first, and then Pastor Allen, and finally Dr. Mullings.
Okay, so, in just wrapping up, what I would love to say is that as we love our children, they don't ever be afraid to set limits and boundaries. Boundaries cause our children to feel safe and loved. No is a good word to use to our children. It's not going to damage them. It's not every time they cry that we give them what they want. No is a good word. But when you say no, it should not be with a harsh tone. It should be with a hug, because it's a lesson. You're teaching them something. And every moment, never forget this, parents, every moment with your child is a teachable moment. Every moment. What it's going to do is going to stretch you as a parent, because you'll have to take the time to teach. And teaching is with love. Rub their heads, rub their stomachs. That's it for me.
Wow. All right. Pastor Allen.
Yes, that's so excellently said by Mrs. Smith. I do agree with her. It's all about loving your children. I think being a parent, we should realize how much this if we are going to raise to the challenge of being a parent, we have to become better. Our children are truly a reflection of us, the good and the bad. They will become what they see in us, whether or not we want to admit it. And so, it just puts you on a lifelong journey to become better. And when you see some of the areas of yourself being reflected in the child, don't only try to correct them, but also try to correct you and to become better when you see that. Because trust me, you will see yourself and you will see things that you're like, where did they get that from? And when you process it, you're like, oh yeah, I tend to do that sometimes in my adult way, but the root of it is really a reflection of me. And so yeah, that's my few words on the matter.
Wow. Dr. Mullings.
Just want to remind you about Seed for Child Month. Children need our love and protection. And with that being said, I want to remind everyone that this whole business of parenting, the word love and protection carries real power when it is executed as a part of a care package in raising our children. The power of love is life changing, and love is what our children need. Protection, this creates a feeling of strength and positivity, and it makes our children feel really safe and secure. I encourage us to treat every child well, because every child matters, and we never know who we are mentoring, who they will become later in life, and they may become the very one to help you in your time of crisis. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for just stopping by to share with us. I did not have my co host here to give you no more trouble this time around, but it was still a good discussion, and I learned a lot, and I trust that our listeners or viewers really learned a lot. This was a powerful conversation that could really change the shape of our nation if it's embraced by our parents, by our educators, by those who have to handle and deal with our children. So thank you so much again. I wish you all the best in your different walks of life. And that's it from us here at Campus Connection. Guys, it's been a fruitful discussion. Thanks again.